I think he's over 6 feet. Program says 6'4". He a basketball player too?
Probably.
One of the few times that Wolverton kept the ball, I believe intentionally then, and did pick up pretty good yardage.
Well, sure, it looked like it might have been a busted play.
Hard to tell. Youngblood went through so quick, maybe he couldn't hand the ball off.
Scott Levy made the tackle. Bring Wolverton down after about a 6 or 7 yard gain. Bonneville's threatening again, down inside the 30.
Hitting the center of the line, Greg Kuipers moves the ball down to the 26-yard line.
The 32 on the 26.
Kuipers again, the ball carrier, picks up about 5 or 6. Warner in on the stop.
Warner, Isaacson, and Fox all in the stop in the backfield area. It's first down for Bonneville.
Timeout, the referee a timeout. 5:14 remain in the first half, second quarter.
Oscar Youngblood is struggling for extra yardage.
Fumble.
The ball.
He was still struggling for extra yardage and fumble the football, recovered by the Rams on their own 10-yard line.
Recovered by Blair Jenkins, number 2. Just inside the 10-yard line. Key turnover.
Bonneville got a turnover on the 50, and Highland gets a turnover on the 10. Wolverton got that pass off too, under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he got smacked just as it was thrown. Youngblood trying for extra yardage, gave up the ball.
Iverson gives out to Derek Hale on the option. Hale makes a nice run, gets some good blocking, and gets the Rams out of deep trouble.
Does, gets them out of the playing field where they become much more effective around the 30-yard line.
Derek Hale gets out to the 32-yard line. For 22 yards in the play. Corey Thornock makes it.
22-yard gain.
Again, the give to Hale. He gets up to the line of scrimmage before he's knocked out of bounds. The halfback duties are kind of really divided fairly equally between Ani, 33, Hale, 32, and Levy, 42. The upback duties are shared pretty equally between Sheffield, number 22, and Whitesta, number 40. As most high school football teams, the quarterback stays in.
That's right. Quarterback's the key. It's particularly true in the wishbone. It's a complicated offense to run.
Iverson again keeps the ball on the option of big hole. Out to the Ram 40. Before again he's stopped by Youngblood.
Iverson on a keeper on the right side, gets out to the 40-yard line. by Turpin and Youngblood. It'll be 3rd and 2 on the 40.
I bet Coach Budge is looking forward to having Youngblood back again. Timeout Rams. 2:53 remain in the half. One of the largest crowds I've ever seen. Of course, the weather was good for Class 4A state playoffs. Good move by Weichstrud. Picks up 5.
Straight up the middle. Gets the 45-yard line.
Highland first down on the 45-yard line with just under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Highland has 2 timeouts remaining to be used this half should they choose to use them.
A pass from the Highland quarterback, first one of the ball game, to Derek Hale.
Number 32.
Hale makes the first down with about 2 or 3 yards to spare. Stop made by number 35, Brandon Moore.
Hildebrand makes the tackle. The first down for the Rams on the Bonneville 43.
So with time running out in the first half, the Rams went to the air to get a first down.
There were a few passes thrown by Highland in this game. I think only 2. As the pitch out once more.
Ani stopped by Youngblood. Those two were going at it all day. Good sportsmanship. Youngblood helped him up. I saw that a number of times in the ball game. As intense as these kids play and as much as they want to beat one another, I didn't see really any tempers flare that went out of control.
No gain on the play. Bonneville 43.
48-yard line, pardon me, 43-yard line of the Lakers. Another pass, again out on the flat, and again I believe it was Derek Hale. Was that Hale that time?
That was Brendan Ani.
That was Ani.
33.
Okay, Ani. 33 instead of 32. Timeout call by the Highland Rams.
It was an effective move he made there after he received the ball, waited for his blockers, and cut back to the inside to get the first down.
Coach Shockey and Coach Kingsford were having a conference out there with Todd Iverson, pointing probably to the clock, watching the time. Weichstrud down the middle gets tripped up, or it looks like he could have gone for a few more.
Weichstrud straight up the middle. Puts the end off. Tackle made by Gerald Harris. Gets down to the 23-yard line. Here's a timeout for a second.
Short of the first down. Just inside the 25-yard line. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Second down. Iverson pitches out to Levy. Levy makes a good effort, gets the ball down on about the 3-yard line. Stop on that made by Covey Thornton.
Corey Thornock, an 11th grader.
The first goal for Highland off the 3.
It's first down and goal to goal.
30 yards on the play.
3-yard line. Ted Iverson comes up to Sweatfield with the ball. Pitches out to Scott Levy.
Levy,
42, scores his second touchdown of the game.
So really quite a bit of scoring for two teams in a championship game, especially with low-scoring ball games getting the Rams in.
For the first time in the ball game, Highland is ahead, 20-14, as they prepare for the point after and their shift.
Again, the center gets dumped. Encroachment puts the ball on the 1.5-yard line.
Highland took timeout to decide what to do in this particular play. Apparently they're going to go for the 2 points after. The
score right now is 14-20, and with a 2-point after touchdown try by
Whitestra, number 40.
Highland goes ahead 22-14 with just seconds remaining in the first half. That was a good drive for the Rams.
It was.
Wayne Lamley kicking off for the Rams. And once more the ball goes into the end zone. Youngblood can't run it out. So the Lakers take over, 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line.
First and 10 for Bonneville on the 20-yard line.
Anticipate some passing here with a few seconds to go, but I believe the Bonneville Lakers kind of elected to play it safe.
Neither team has any timeouts remaining for this first half of the contest. Hands off to Youngblood, who gets stopped behind the line.
Youngblood is tackled by number 46.
Rather than risk some mistakes, I believe the Bonneville coach just wisely decided to let's go in halftime and talk it over.
Tackle on that play was made by Carlton Watkins, senior, number 60, and Dave Fox, number 46, the senior captain linebacker.
So the Rams go in ahead, which surprised a lot of people. At halftime, we have academic all-state students being honored. Just going out on the field now is Highland Ram, who's all suited up, Mark Sheffield. These kids had to have a academic average GPA totally of 3.5.
3.5 or above, and then be outstanding in athletics and community service and in student leadership around their particular school. The competition's pretty intense. There's 10 selected each of the divisions 1, 2, 3, and 4A. And Mark Sheffield of Highland was selected on that team, as was senior Danny Butters from Bonneville. Other players were from Box Elder, Roy, Weber, Brighton, West Jordan, Mountain View, Box Elder, and American Fork.
Why don't you mention those names, Don, while you're looking that up? The announcer just told us that those 10 students, all good senior football players, had a total grade point average of 3.94.
That's pretty high. And there's Scott Uyamatsu from Box Elder, Gary McFarland from Roy, Danny Butters from Bonneville, John Pobans from Weber, Alex Mercer from Brighton, Rod Slater from American Fork, Robert Capener from Box Elder, Greg Pine from Mountain View, Mark Sheffield from Highland, all seniors, and one junior, Brett Mullen from West Jordan High School.
These, again, were all state academic football players with an excellent GPA. Those are the kind of kids colleges like. They don't have to worry about it. They're going to pass their grades or their classes. They're just going to be concentrating on football. If their high school grades have indicated, college won't be any problem. Highland Pep Club out on the field now. If you just tuned in, just to let you know, the Rams and the Lakers Highland Rams and Bonneville Lakers. This is halftime at Rice Stadium in the state championship game on Friday, November 21st. Highland goes off the field at halftime ahead, which surprised a lot of the fans, 22-14. Those of us, of course, who've seen the game know that the first half was fairly high in scoring. Second half, more of a defensive struggle with not nearly as much scoring. Game was intense all the way. Very few penalties. The stats at halftime show that Bonneville had 13 first downs to Highland's 8. The rushing yardage for Bonneville is 65, where Highland has 234. The passing yardage for Bonneville is 140, where Highland completed 2 for 2 for 23. The passes attempted by the quarterback from Bonneville, 15, and he completed 10 with no intercepts. Highland, I mentioned before, has 2 for 2. The total yardage then puts Bonneville at 205 and Highland at 247. So at halftime, Highland has a slight edge on yardage, and they do definitely have an edge on the scores. Each team has had 3 penalties at this point. 9 yards amounted to for Bonneville and 25 yards for Highland. They've each lost the ball once.
Both of those were critical, too. The Highland fumble resulting in a Laker drive, and particularly the Bonneville fumble that Highland recovered by Blair Jenkins, prevented probably what would have been the go-ahead touchdown for Bonneville, and led directly to the Highland drive, culminating in their touchdown right at the end of the half.
That's right. The Bonneville kicker has 2 punts for 32 yards, and Highland punter Wayne Lamley has 1 punt for 37. Leading gainers right now and for Bonneville, each Youngblood and Kuipers have 25 yards apiece, with Wolverton rushing for 7 and Porter for 8. At this point in the game, Scott Levy for the Rams has 83 yards. Of course, one of those was an 80-yard touchdown. Awney has 32 yards. Iverson has 43 yards, and that was one of those was a 29-yard run. 35-yard run. Whitestra has 16 yards. Sheffield has 9, and little Derek Hale has 51 yards, which is excellent for Derek.
Has 51 yards on 3 carries, his longest being 29 yards. So it's the Highland wishbone running attack and its various options against the Bonneville Laker passing attack, with Wolverton's favorite target being Kendall Youngblood. Classic confrontation football, passing attack against a running attack. Which defense can stop the other?
And if you did just tune in at this state final game between Highland and Bonneville, Bonneville scored first. Highland came back, tied it up in the first quarter. And then before the first quarter ended, Bonneville scored again, and the first quarter ended 14-7 for Bonneville. Highland scored 15 points in the second quarter.
8 of those coming right at the very end of the quarter. Here we are back at the opening kickoff of the second half of the Highland Bonneville State Championship football game played at Rice Stadium on November the 21st. Highland leading 22-14 at the end of the first half. I'm Don Barlow here with Hal Hardcastle at the HTVS studios, recreating that particular contest. Open kickoff taken by Andy Bound, number 16, who returns it up to the Highland 38-yard line.
Tackle was made by number 31, Kurt City.
Bound was stopped by number 78, Corey Saunders.
Ball officially spotted at the
So the Rams surprising right now in the lead, starting the third quarter. Quarterback Todd Iverson, Scott Sweatfield, the center.
This was a game in which Bonneville was favored by 10 points or more, depending on which paper or sports writers you listened and read.
Iverson keeping the ball. Looked like maybe a mix-up on that, but at least the defenders got in on him quickly, and there was no gain on the play.
Ball, number 76, Gerald Harris. No gain on the play.
Just about the time you think the Highland Wishbone shut down, seems to come to life.
Most teams defensively don't see a wishbone attack, especially one that's as sophisticated as the Highland attack is. Had a number of years to perfect it, and have coaches who really know how to teach it.
Weichstra takes the handoff, gets to the 50-yard line.
Brought down by Youngblood, who makes another tackle that saves a touchdown. I think he had at least two that I can recall that would have gone the distance had he not been able to defeat his opponent one-on-one.
First down on the 50.
Derek Hale bringing in the play for the Rams. Now Sheffield comes in, maybe checking it off or just substituting. Almost looked like an attempted pass.
Yeah, did. Didn't have much time.
Highland only threw 2 passes the first half, completed both of them for 23 yards. Highland is not a throwing team, or at least has not been considered a throwing team. When the running attack is working, it's working well.
2 yards on the play.
That's right. They have been successful running the football. At this point in the ball game, they're starting to rain slightly and it's getting wet.
Sheffield carrying the ball, number 22, gets up to the midfield stripe.
Tackles made by Harris, 76 for Bonneville.
Tackle is made by number 76, Gerald Harris. Gets 1 yard on the play, 13-11 on the 49.
Todd Iverson, the Highland quarterback, is really the leader of this team. And he's effective, the team is. He's been effective all year.
Misdirection play again, giving off to Derek Hale, probably the smallest player on the Ram team.
First, number 32, Derek Hale.
It's a big third down to keep that drive going.
All the way to the 34-yard line and a first down.
There's Derek, about 140, 145 pounds.
140 is what he's listed as, and I think that's no exaggeration. Sheffield gets the handoff.
Off the right side. Tackle is made by number 75, Tony Foreman.
Tony Foreman makes the stop, number 75, with Chris Turpin helping.
It's another 260-pounder. Take Foreman and Harris. That's the 200-pounder range, 252.